Hello. So it was brought to my attention that I need to probably do a better job of introducing ETs, formerly known as Eddie's World. So I'm gonna share my screen and go through what I've already posted. I'm not gonna. It's not new. So if everyone, if you're in this group and you've scrolled up and you've read everything, you can just totally ignore this message. Of course, anyone can ignore this message. It's just whatever. But I am going to share screen. And then I'm going to do this. Oops, I'm going to stop it. And then I got to, what's going on there? Share screen. Share sound. Stereo, high fidelity, whatever. Stop. Okay, so kind of like part of the problem, as you can see, it takes a while just to scroll back so far. Because just a listing of like 70 people who have left. There's about 110 right now in here. I kept on. I forgot what happened was, so I originally created this chat group. Well, yeah, I had a secret Facebook group that was kind of talking about this a little bit. Then I decided to create a chat group. I deleted that secret Facebook group, started this chat group, and it was just really just Aaliyah and Fernando, and myself. I wanted to get Fernando's input because he actually has the Vasahedron design. This is just strange alternative like healing home, and it's not too different from what I was coming up with here, which is which is with like a combination of all 200 plus ideas. Um, but he's like anti-technology, so it's a good thing that it's not really going on anymore. Um, so um, all right, so I recommend that you mute the group. There's nothing really here that's going on. It's urgent, so just kind of like relax. And let's eliminate homelessness. How do we eliminate homelessness? With petitioning governments and charities to support the cost to have each ET unit in operation for people who need the help, and so I have this video in here because it's really my favorite post of all time. But in not only is my favorite post of all time because I'm calling for for the formation of the United States of Urantia, the 100 United States of Urantia, and just kind of like combine, you know, have United States include all the other countries. And then so I was given warm greetings. I'll just whatever. I'll just do it. I was just saying hail to all here on your rancho. So, but I have this here because in there you can see it says, please consider imagining therein a high speed, like 400 plus miles per hour communications network where each ET could hook up, because you yourself, your clothes has a lot of technology, and these ET units, they can be self-navigating, motorized prosthetics, so like kinetic energy converters from the battery, kind of like bionic legs, RoboCop, Iron Man, stuff like that, moves you. And if you don't have it to move you, you can move yourself, and the movement of yourself charges the battery because you're wearing like heavy equipment, charging about turning a turbine or something. So yeah, your clothes, it displays media. So your clothes, you can display regular clothing, or you could have a superhero outfit. That's why I kind of calling it ET, like Ego Terminator, but also more so like engineering today. Engineering today for a better tomorrow, so that everyone has a home, and the home is the mini home. It's the miniest possible home because it takes up no space more than just like your clothes or in a backpack would. So it has a microphone, has a camera, um, a loudspeaker, radar, all kinds of sensors, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 5G connection, the latest generation of broadband TV, HVACs. That's a big deal because why? Because in like cold areas or where it rains a lot or even too warm, you need something technology to kind of moderate, ventilate, all that stuff. Moderate the temperature. I mean, it's a hydrator, so it gives you water, it gives you food, it can medicate you. It can even have defense mechanisms like a pepper spray, or like skunk, whatever. Um, Sirens, through the loudspeaker. Septic provider, so it takes away your pee and poo into a backpack that drones can take away and take into the trash. And it can refill you with supplies for things I've mentioned. And different backpack configurations, like a backpack configuration could have a much bigger umbrella, or it could have tools to work, um, or it could have a ladder, whatever you need. I mentioned here about the two-way stop signs and the highways because I noticed in David, Panama, Western Panama, they have a system where north-south roads are all two. They don't have a stop sign, and then east-west roads all do have a stop sign. So there are no four-way stop signs. It's much more fluid. And so these Eddies units, because I want to integrate that in the communications network of these units as they're moving around, self-driving, there's no need for streetlights either, because if you have like two lanes and two lanes, these two lanes, like the one on the right can always be green, and the one on the left, you have to, have a red light so that people coming perpendicular at the intersection can merge in. So they merge in, they have a big merging area, and and then eventually, every once in a while, you have a red light on the left, or yeah, every once in a while, you have a red light on the left, but the right lane's always green, and then people who are merging in, um, whether it's green or not, can get in there. Um, so God bless you all. Thanks for being here. I wish you all much peace, love, and joy forever. And right now, this hope is the best year. All right, here we go. Hey, very good morning. I was doing construction, and if you imagine your clothes is formed in the shape of a heart, like a three-dimensional heart. I don't know if, um, and so from looking at it from profile, it always looks like a heart. But when you look, anyways, so I think this notion of like a toroid. Let me see if that's the right word. But it's basically a shape. So as we'll see further down, I saw something very similar to an ET in Pandora, the latest movie. Okay, so I don't think Toro is the right word. Um, but it's kind of like three-dimensional. Imagine like uh, an exoskeleton around your body that protects you. Um, so you don't need to wear a seatbelt in the cars because you're already well protected. It's kind of like a spacesuit. So you could have a helmet, where a visor comes. The visor could be your TV, or when you're leaning back, your thighs are your TV. So you can like type on your thighs if you want to use a QWERTY kind of keyboard. A lot of it's voice control. So your clothes obviously is your phone. And yeah, so what I'm trying to say, the shape, imagine around you, it could be like a heart shape where you're walking around in this like heart like body, kind of like a it's um like a Macy's Day Parade or something. You're in this outfit, but like a clown suit, but it's your home. So the reason why it could be big as a heart, because you could actually have people in your suit, like kids if you're traveling, or even a significant other. Let me continue here. It's your clothes, and it displays any pattern and colors, personalized, whatever you want to display. It could be advertisement, um, and um, it can enlarge and continually expand as you add more people, because that clothing can actually be your home. So I guess that could be the Vasahedron, or the Hyatt Healing Home. I'm so sorry that I always keep on getting the name wrong. But it can expand somehow, and it can have wheels somehow, and it could be your little scooter that takes you around on town up to 30 miles an hour. So when I was saying there about the wheels, is because I thought like your suit would have wheels and move you around, but what I realized was because it's like bionic legs, so it's like a prosthetic where like it can move you if you're an elderly, or or if you have a lot of money, or you're lazy, you don't want to go to the you don't want to go walk to the supermarket, you could configure it and it would move you like a robot, and you would run like 20, 30 miles an hour. But because like when I'll show you the picture, you'll see that the ET unit can be so large that it extends beyond your body, especially when you go through a doorway and go outside. And then now your leg span, you could run much more than just 25, 30 miles an hour, especially if you have the power, you have the battery, and the robot, has that capacity, that technology, the design. While it's taking you around at 30 miles an hour, or while it's, I guess, stationary, it can feed you, it can give you water, it can give you, like in air form, it can just, in a little vapor, give you botanical scents or medication or both, and it takes away your poo, pee. There's drones that come in and out, like shuttles to the main ship. Yeah, because okay, so yeah, back then I was also thinking, before I realized that, before I was thinking like it'd be like imagine the size of a couch, like the couch would be your home, and that could have like but really you don't need all that. It could just be yourself. And I was thinking, there'd be like so each ET unit, and then there's the like mothership, because at first I thought, yeah, it started people's homes and their spare bedrooms. They'd rent out space for the Museum of Business Ideas. For the three main things was to have on the display a business idea that you can sell without needing to patent, and yeah, whatever, you don't sell it as much, but you don't have very much protection, because maybe you say you're a business idea to 50 people who care about your field, your industry, pharmaceuticals, or smart glasses, if that's whatever your field is, whatever the business idea is. Um, anyways, but yeah, I thought it would be in the sky, like in these like um, blimps and the helium, and just with hot air, because of the volume, it would just naturally go up, and you could live in the sky and come back at night or something, or you could sleep up there. And then I found that there's a plane, like a sky cruise, that can fly for like 5 years in the air and have like 5,000 passengers, and have like nuclear powered plane with like 18 jet engines. And I was like, wow, I guess that's it. And then I was thinking, well, each ET can run, and paramotors, your backpack could be a motor, and you could take off and you could fly. You won't fly very fast. You have a wing, kind of like a parachute umbrella, and not a parachute, like, yeah, around you, and you just kind of like move, go around like maybe 5, 10 miles an hour, skip all the traffic. And yes, that could connect with a mothership, but that's the mothership idea is more of like a community. When you have like a movie theater, a restaurant, so people want to get together. They want to not just be in their homes. Main home or whatever, main storage, main sky space station that has the food and water, based on the GPS of your own clothing, heart. Yes, I was thinking like you could like travel. You could for long distance traveling, you'd go to the mothership. If you want to go to like Asia or something, and then it would just slowly get there. And as it's getting there, you could make deliveries of products, because everyone there is working, and you're making stuff, and you could meander your way to, let's say, like Nigeria or something. And it could take months, but you're making deliveries of stuff along the way and enjoying life. Home thing, it can resupply you with the water and food, and take away your trash and poo. Um, it provides your HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning. So it's your home, and it can attach to trees, which lift you up into the air, and you can, rest on big branches if you want to sleep, because the tree with a lot more, just like we have this infrastructure around our bodies, the tree would also have structure around it that can provide a lot more security, like additional cameras and speakers and lights and power, so you could recharge maybe. But if you move and you want to move yourself on your own energy, you can charge a battery, so you can actually make money by walking around with these things. Or if you have a lot of money, or there's a lot of green energy, then free energy, uh, then you could just use energy, and it can actually help you move. So it's like a exoskeleton kind of thing that provides you more strength. So for elderly people, it can help them move around, and you could just program it like, hey Google, take me to the supermarket and get me some milk and bread, and it would just move you at 30 miles an hour eventually, if it's safe, um, to you, and you could just be listening to music. Uh, the synthesis of ideas, couch surfing, trying to give you some information about uh, his world. So yeah, it's like your electronic clothes, but it's your home, shelter. You can go 30 miles an hour on its own, like robotically, like RoboCop, and Iron Man or whatever. Uh, it's kind of like a self-navigating car. Uh, the synthesis of my 200 business ideas is like having your clothing, WeWork, Museum of Business Ideas, information about uh, those messages above explain what's going on. This is a home. If you have a home, it's many other things. Um, if you have I don't understand. Is Jamie? I mean, have you listened to those audio? It's to end homelessness, Luis. That's the purpose, because um, it it's like it could if it could take you to the store to get food if you're an elderly. It does HVAC. It feeds you. It's your phone. Um, so many things I can't remember everything. That's why it takes a while to. Jamie, I haven't finished responding to your messages. I'm gonna have to respond to more rainstorm talk. If anyone wants to um, yes, if we can bring it to this is this is very very early stages. Just kind of talking to flush out brainstorm. Suppose there's a failure of me to honor the very respectable people who have added to this chat group. So I'll just talk a little bit about the people I see on my screen. Thea Agnes, the first, my aunt, I love her. Alana, your introvert greeter, I love her. Alberto, Al, DC area, hermano of my fraternity, I love him. Alejandro's one of my cousins. Aaliyah, your introvert greeter, I love everyone, of course. Aaliyah's been, man, he's really helped me. He helped me write all the paragraphs rundown, of all the business ideas, the 200 in those comments. He wrote those up. He interviewed me and stuff. Allie, here of me to very amazing paralegal professional I used to work with. Andrew Walling, one of the smartest guys in this group, definitely ideas. So your spotty suit, one of the if you want to configure, you want to have the backpack configuration where you want to be a micro brew. Your body, your back would have what it would need to cook food to, or alternatively, you could have the equipment for brewing um, your own beer. And so one of my business ideas was to be a beer truck, and kind of like a food truck, but a microbrew beer truck that would drive to your neighborhood and give you fresh beer. You yourself could do that because you could say, "Hey Google, navigate me to this neighborhood," and while it's moving you, it could be brewing the beer, or like getting the beer ready to give to them. Um, uh, Outsourcing.com to 189. Um, so it's a way of software where if you need someone to help you do your job, um, so I guess that would just be because your thighs is like a display screen and you're sitting there, you can look at it
And you could type on your thighs. Your camera would see where you're typing, and it would know which characters you're hitting. And you could easily, if you're the one who wants to provide the service, you would go to the website, looking for people who are looking for help, and you would research your category, like, oh, I can help as an accountant. So you scroll to see who's looking for accounting help, and then you coordinate with them, and you do their job, and they pay you to do their job. Only, kind of like a temp working, or vice versa. You need the help. You put the requisition. You put a bid like, hey, I'll pay you $80 if you can help me write this 10-page report that I need, due Thursday or whatever. Um, uh, wow. So one of my ideas was, I don't know if you guys know about paramotoring, but it's this weird sport where kind of like a glorified lawnmower engine. So pretty powerful, be 10 horsepower, 5 horsepower, 5 hour, 5 horsepower engine that turns a rotor, kind of like behind you, and you have a parachute. So imagine like floating in the air, and kind of like a parachute, but they call it a wing. And the motor blows you slowly in the air. You could be, 200 feet in the air. So because these Edit suits are pretty robust in, mechanical technology, people you could hire yourself, kind of like pedicab. They ride a bike, and there's like one or two, three people behind you. In these Edit units, which can are pretty, you could have a little like wheelbarrow or something, not a wheelbarrow or something. Um, uh, Maybe we could find a really strong bicycle that would support the weight of you in the suit, because I'm sure the suit will add like 80 pounds, but you could ride a bicycle and move people, and as a way of providing service, whether it be with a wing, uh, a sail. Um, uh, so the spacesuit, could have like a head, like a helmet component, which would vaporize any botanicals. It could give you nice scents or increase your oxygen content in what you're which is maybe even better than the room that you're in, because it's controlled oxygen. The suit would clean you, um, feed you, give you water. Um, so another business idea 200 is this like social media companion. So the idea is it receives the app, this Eddie's World app component would receive all your social media, emails, text messages, whatever, and uh, process it with AI and predict a response that it would give to you, and you could say, yeah, go ahead and send that. Kind of like a Google predicts and Gmail predicts responses to finish an email when you start typing words. Yeah, it would be a companion that helps you kind of handle all the social media and give you a decent response. Maybe you can configure like I want to be loving, so it could like predict a more loving response, or it could say you want to be give attitude, you can give attitude. Um, so number 202 was something I tried to do like 10 years ago, where like starting this like club, not like a country club, but not for golf and tennis, but a club for just hanging out and playing musical instruments, or just watching enlightening social media, enlightening inspirational content. Um, so all these Eddie's World units, because they have screens and stuff and easy way for communicating, having conversations like Zoom calls. Yeah, you could just hang out while you're in your spacesuit on a Zoom call, just talking with people. And because while you're there, the ads will be shown to you. You could be provided free stuff. So a drone could come and give you free food or free water or free medicine. Um, because you pay your dues to be in the club, like membership dues, and all you have to do is just watch advertisements, and you're living a lot of your living expenses could be free, especially if you're a person who has like a lot of following, so people care about that you see it. Like I'm sure people want to advertise to celebrities because like, you get a lot of bang for the buck. Um, yeah, so I guess a lot of these, some of the ideas just I'll have a hard time figuring out how you can put them together. Um, so it's 176tax.com. So there's a Faraday cage notion. So you could EMI protect yourself, buy the bodysuit. Um, also do a lot of soundproofing. Um, um, so truth.com. Um, sorry, I kind of forget. Yeah, I guess it's a way of, or it's a website where everyone shares the facts that they promise are true. Hey, um, many blessings. Thanks for continuing to linger and provide feedback. Um, I I wish you all well. Just so I took myself away as admin.
Hey everyone, so Eddie's World is actually it's actually in Avatar 2, The Way of Water, and the cool thing about water is it's got no beginning and ending or whatever. Anyways, I'm showing three pictures. It looks awful because I mean I was handing a camera, it's illegal to like film like a movie, and it was 3D IMAX, so even just the fact that my phone does not have the didn't wasn't wearing the glasses. Anyways, as you can see, what blew my mind about it is that Eddie's World's actually bigger than the size of the human being. Like, sure, yeah, of course, it amplifies your voice as one of the 200 things it does. But because it's, as you can see in one of the pictures, like the dude sitting or the woman in there is smaller. So like their feet touch maybe like the knees of the robot. So they're within it, and so it's even more secure because it's
bigger than you, and of course you want to get out and have an intimate moment with someone, you can always jump out and climb a little ladder and you're back in your home suit that walks you around. I think that thing could probably go more than 30 miles an hour. But yeah, it hooks up
Eddie's
for higher
world in
speed in
lots of different ways. And if we can get over, if we can get over like the issue of using standard
like a maglev configuration.
technology, but I mean, you could play ping pong together with the robot and just moving around. You could play huge ping pong where the like a basketball size ping pong because the robots are much stronger and bigger. This even the table would be much more large. Or just by moving around, you could play virtually on the internet to anyone in the world, because moving of your hand could emulate the you moving a ping pong paddle, and it could just get as real as possible. Um, so 77 sugar fiber blend. So because your suits feed you, in like maybe a pill format, the pill would have. It, I guess you could eat stuff that tastes good, but if you do have sugar, it's better to have blend it with fiber. Ventilator mask. So this mask itself, kind of like how when you're getting a massage and the thing behind you is massaging you. Your ventilator itself would provide the botanical your nice like floral, or menthol, or any like medication, um, and so whatever like botanical product you have that you buy packaged, that the drone delivers to your backpack and then eventually makes its way to your mask. The throbbers would break the botanical, like the flowers, and then you pass air through it, and it's natural smells, nothing artificial. Portion control restaurant. So many of the things are dynamic, and yes, of course, so the drones that deliver the food. So let's say they had some old pork or cow, or if you eat vegan, maybe whatever old vegan food, and it's discounted, and it'll be delivered to you, and you order it from nearby whatever because you're willing to pay less, or you pay more because you want super fresh. All right, have a great week.
Okay, I guess I'll assume leadership. I mean, I am calling it Eddie's World, but that's only a temporary. But yeah, so one of my business ideas, I'll just talk because I've been talking with Aaliyah. I think he might do it. The coding, he's learning AI, a tool within that, obviously, large body of machine learning, neural networks, etc. So the visual search engine, which aspires to rival the Google, is with your bodysuit. You have these like glasses or display and cameras looking at your eyes, so we can see where you're looking at. And then you can, squint your eyes to zoom in fast, or open your eyes wide to slow down. And because we organize all the words via the symbols project, um, in the 8 categories, you can, I have videos about this. If anyone's interested, ask here or ask me in the DM, and I'll send you a YouTube link. Most of my videos are unlisted, so. Anyways, I'm thinking about contracting a Leo to create some AI software, where you just feed it words and it puts it into the category and puts the words that are most next to it, most similar to be close to it, just organizing so that when you look, you can just visually search for words, and the closer you get to the word, eventually you can either push a button or some other activation mechanism, saying something maybe, and then so you could have a conversation and search stuff online just by looking up into the categories, zooming in to the website, and then it shows you the information, or goes to the website, goes to the app, whatever. Another you can do additional function. So in your bodysuit, maybe each hand would have, half of the QWERTY keyboard, and then when you lift up, you can have different functions. Like if you lift your index finger, maybe you'd open a website. If you lift your middle finger, maybe it'd be like feed you water, or lift up your left, ring finger, whatever. Your drone would shoot up. It would all be, you would be configurable, or it could be all word-based stuff like your left middle finger would be like open up a new document. Another the right hand finger, the middle finger would be when you lift it up, the ring would sensor would know, and then it would open up a browser or a drawing document or a document repository, PowerPoint, your email, whatever. Hey, so I'm gonna post here I mentioned it in my audio, and I encouraged Aaliyah to just talk about it here because he was DMing me about this one aspect of Eddie's world, which is, the audiovisual search engine, which I tried to work on like 7 years ago. Feel free to ask questions. So there's a little history behind symbols. So back in when I was in divinity school 13 years ago, I came up with the idea of organizing words, just having them next to each other, and I told my dad, I was like, hey, we're just gonna be rich, because I always thought bigger, because it's just an organized way of having concepts. Um, yeah, so I've always and then I realized because there's so many words, like 500,000 words, like uh, I kept on thinking like, okay, how can this be done? And I thought, okay, well, has to be AI. I mean, I actually didn't even know. I gave up at the time, 13 years ago, because I couldn't figure out how it could be done with so many words. Just keep on feeding words and having them be it's sorted. I thought it had to be automated. It couldn't just be a human constantly organizing. I don't know. Maybe it could be a human. That's fine. But then when I learned about AI later, I was like, wow, I guess you can apply. And then Elias, that's what he's working on.